Good evening, good evening. It is Freddie Vasquez, Basement Politics Unfiltered, and I'm back. Happy Hump Day. Let's talk about the power plant over there on Ravine, JFK Marina, and a few other things here, City of Yonkers folks, in regards to politics. Let's do it.
Let's get it popping. Let's get it popping.
Good evening, folks. I am Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. How you guys been? Happy Hump Days, Wednesday, April 13th, 2022. Are you happy to see me? I'm happy to see you. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. What you're seeing there is a post that I did 4 days ago. I said intelligence reports of an attack in New York City on April 18th, 2022. April 18th is this coming Monday. I said I just wanted to put it out there to kind of warn people. And so I take those things seriously, especially when they come from certain individuals. So I had to take a hiatus. I put out the warning and I kind of left. And then I heard about the incident in the subway in Brooklyn. So within a week of margin of error, I think it's pretty good. God forbid something else happens. But be careful if you intend on being in the city this coming Monday, April 18th. I'm just saying, folks. I'm just saying. I did post that there. I wanted to talk about the meeting yesterday in regards to the power plant development and the Parkland alienation and the loss of public access to the Hudson River. And I've been talking about this. I've been mentioning to you folks, saying that this is going to go private and we're going to lose access to the river. Anyway, hello, everyone. Happy Hump Day. Tonight, I want to discuss a few things, primarily the Yonkers City Council meeting yesterday. The main point of discussion being the power plant development and its impact to city Parkland and the fear that the area will be developed into riverfront townhomes, becoming private and inaccessible to the public, right? To the folks that go out there for the barbecues, you know, and the motorcycle events and other family gatherings and stuff. People do parties there. You know, they celebrate children's birthdays and stuff. But first, I want to mention about the subway attack, which I did 4 days ago. I posted about it. So just saying, you guys, on April 18th, this coming Monday, be careful. Be careful. God forbid, you know, it's still never know. Anyway, so, and then I also wanted to mention the majority leader. I do want to show support. All right. She's having an Easter egg extravaganza. Majority Leader Tasha Diaz and County Legislator Jose Alvarado invite you to join their Easter egg extravaganza, Saturday, April 16th from 1 to 4 while supplies last over there at Tibbetsbrook Park. Sponsored by Tasha Diaz, Nader Sage, Small World. I can't read under there. Daycare. Hey, Ridgeway Church, Jose Alvarado, and DeCosta Real Estate, which I hear is the wife of Dan Romano, is it? City Court Judge, recently won. And also, she is cordially inviting the city to attend the Springtime Bloom in support of Majority Leader Tasha Diaz, April 27th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Castle Royale. Right? She's raising money there. Rose, $1,000. Orchid, $500. So, the majority leader, will she be is up for re-election? Is she raising money for this re-election? Right? Or is she raising money to run for mayor? That's what I recently heard, that she may be interested in running for mayor. Anyone with knowledge of Yonkers politics know that she has no chance of winning. Not sure why those rumors are circulating, although she has come up in the mayor race, right? And this fundraiser, is it for her re-election, or is she raising money to actually run for mayor? And if she was to enter the mayoral race, is she being serious about it? Because I hear sometimes people enter races, or the powers that be put certain individuals into a race just to split votes, right? To hurt another candidate, pull away votes from that specific candidate, right? So that they're their candidate could win just by a little bit more because some individual decided to enter that had no chance, but they split the vote, right? Is that what's going on? If that's the case, because I hear the rumors, right? So she's raising money. Hey, there you go. But I wonder also, as a District 3, council person, is this for your constituents? And I always wonder about these events because I say they're like expensive, and sometimes the constituents really, are they capable of shelling out $1,000, $500, $250, even $75, even in these hard economic times? That's a lot for a lot of people, right? And so it's a lot for a lot of people to be shelling out when everyone should be saving. And individuals that do attend and that do write $1,000 check many times are not living in the area. They may be some businessmen from the area, but other than that, what interest would they have in District 3 and donating $1,000 to Tasha Diaz, Majority Leader's campaign, right? I don't know. I always speak on it. Many other news outlets like the Yonkers Tribune, they refuse to speak on it. Unless you're Mike Breen, of course, they will talk about Mike Breen's Bagels with Breen event and why is he raising money for that. But the Yonkers Tribune, as you know, is very one-sided. It's very one-sided because when it comes to Majority Leader or Nader Sage or John Rubo, right, basement politics, I asked the questions of everyone. And I know people recently have said you've been picking on Nader Sage, but they said the same thing when I spoke about Tasha Diaz, right? But I want to talk about the Yonkers Tribune really quick in relation to Tasha Diaz, because the individual that controls Tasha Diaz, in my opinion, John Rubo, right, and Nader Sage, also controls the Yonkers Tribune. And I wanted to show, because I was reading some of the comments to my wife, very funny because somebody commented, two comments about some possible affair that Lauren Cater, the sister of former city council president Mike Cater, and I are having an affair. So I was reading this to my wife and along with other comments from the Yonkers Tribune. But I found something that Hezi had wrote, and I thought it was interesting based on that comment about me and Lauren. And this is what he says. Hezi writes, anonymously, people make comments, short, not sweet, name calling, not explaining their perspective, and especially not ever validating it. Degenerating or denegregating families. I'm sorry. Again, I can't pronounce words, I know. Claiming that everyone with the same name is no good, although the spelling here is off. It's an endless barrage of fake news, falsehoods. Then you have the ones that are untouchable, right? He said, this is important. He says, you have the ones that are untouchable, the ones that no one can utter their name because they are protected somehow and by some means. However, when it comes to Zehi, he is a target to which many have long wished to diminish, but he has paid for sins, many which he did not engage, right? But that's not according to a judge or, a jury. They convicted him because he did take it to trial. He didn't plead, and they found him guilty. He rebuilt his life in an influential and pertinent manner, eclipses other wannabes, and I'm assuming he's talking about John Cater, and kept his family together despite the naysayers who didn't have a clue what they were saying or could not validate a thing. If you want to trash people, go to Facebook or some other place where delusion and deceit and lies are the new truths. The difference with me is I remember and I was able to appreciate and comprehend what happened in the past. If you want to play games, YT, Yonkers Tribune, is not your toilet. Besides, why do you need to spew your bias and in your windows on the YT? Aren't there enough outlets for you to take a dump? Whether true or not, as long as I operate the YT, your venom and threats and innuendos and lies and deceits won't be permitted in the YT. Perhaps I've been too lenient. Have a fine day elsewhere. You are not want to hear. Kindly, Hezi. I'm not sure who he's speaking about. I guess I've never tried to comment on there. That's for sure. I've never commented or attempted to comment on there. I don't know who specifically speaking about, but I find it funny that he says your innuendos, lies, and deceits are not welcome. And as long as I run the Yonkers Tribune, that will never be permitted here. Yet he allowed for people to insinuate that I'm having an affair with Lauren Cater. And mind you, not knowing her personal life and things in her background, something like that is not, funny because for one, it's not true. I'm married and but I don't care because you can say whatever I want. I put myself out there and I say things, but Lauren doesn't, right? Lauren is a private person. She hasn't put herself out there. So include her in something that has nothing to do with me or her or whatever. And then he allows it. So I mean, do you allow innuendos and lies or don't you? Has he? Which one is it? You can't do both, right? So that's the hypocrisy there in his statements. And then he also talks about the untouchables. And I wonder who he's mentioning when he says the untouchables, those that are somehow protected, right, by some means. But then he goes on to make Zahi Jeris look so good, right, and say that he has paid for sins that he did not engage in. Well, Hezi, that's not true. It's not according to. I mean, you seem to, right, have issues with courts and their rulings. They always, don't go in your favor. And that one didn't go in your favor or Zahi's favor. And he went to trial. He didn't plead guilty. He didn't, take a plea. And the evidence was the evidence. And then Hezi was one of the individuals that was going after these guys hardcore until he was sued. And, the judge ruled that he wasn't a credible news outlet and stuff. So again, my only point in even bringing this up is because I was showing this to my wife today, this morning, and about the Lauren Cater, and I had a fair comment. I thought it was funny, and the other comments that people were writing about me, and but then I came to this and I read it, and I said, well, that's not necessarily true. That shows his hypocrisy. And if you go back, if you can find some of the articles, right, because he has since deleted a lot of articles. If you type certain things in, you will see it come up in the search, but when you click on the link, it's been since deleted. So he's trying to cover his tracks and show who he was before, and now how he's all of a sudden talking differently, right? So he doesn't want to show his hypocrisy and, talking out of the side of his mouth. The people I'm thinking he's insinuating when he says the untouchable, that's the administration. To me, he's referring to the Spanos, and I think he's trying to throw them under the bus while making Zahi, his puppet master, the guy I hear is behind him, look good, right? That's all it is. And that's why he doesn't go after anyone like Nada Sage, Tasha Diaz, or John Rubo, but he will attack Mike Breen, and he will attack his family, and he will name call, which he says he will not allow on his page, unless it's you, right, Hezi? Is that how it works? And I get it, right? You have your own bias. He's also going after, John Cater, obviously. He talks about private citizens. He goes after them. And Jamal Bowman, he's even thrown him under the bus and allowed that to happen on his page. So he allows certain things. And if you read the comments, you'll start to understand that many of the comments are obviously from the same individual, right? So just an example of his bias, right, and his one-sided reporting from YT, I should say, another example of his hypocrisy. Again, he speaks negatively of family members, like of Mike Breen, the Caters. He spews his venom. He was sued for it by Keith Olsen. I mean, you're the guy that's been in trouble for it, has he? Okay, so now you're talking this way. Please, folks, you got to see the BS for this guy. And I may not always get it right. I may not pronounce everything clearly, but my intention is always pure, to bring you the honest truth and the honest information, and not just put out innuendos just to put it out there for the enjoyment of people reading these comments, right? So again, I see what he's trying to do there, and making Zahi Jeris look good while making others look bad. And by the way, I just got this information while I kept coming on a little late. I'm hearing now that he's actually going to be sued again by John Cater. I believe a letter was sent out, a cease and desist, and, a lawsuit basically saying, I'm going to sue you for the stuff that he's put on there, hurting his Impact event. Now that's actual, slander and lie, whatever, what I'm saying? They try to accuse me of, but everything that I'm saying, it's already been said. I'm just out here telling people what's already being said, right? Nothing I say, it's new. But when you go in after an event and you heard it, like he did with Impact event, accusing with the, him of being a violent person with the guns and all that. And look, maybe not, but at the end of the day, if it impacts your event, you got people pulling out of your event, then yeah, now you're going to have some lawsuits, because now you're impacting an individual, right, in their organization, and whatever attempt it is that, what they're trying to accomplish, their goals. So there you go, Hezi. Have fun with that, and I hear that, you're not in the best position, and maybe that's why you're now, writing the way you write, because those that have sued you have you in a position where, maybe not even the ones that sued you, maybe other individuals just know, hey, don't mess around, we'll get you financially. You need that money to come in. People say, hey, has these monies on disabilities, and he's getting checks from this, and is he even, supposed to be getting disability now? He's maybe making this money from these checks. I don't know, but be careful, because you'll find yourself, and you are going to find yourself in another problem with Mr. Some of that meeting, and specifically a woman by the name of Terry Joshi. I'm sorry if I pronounced her name wrong, but she's from the Yonkers on the Hudson Alliance. They're fighting to protect that. Right now, there's a proposal for a developer to move full steam ahead. I'll read a little bit about that, but I want you to hear what she has to say first, and then I'll talk about it here afterward.
Alliance respectfully requests that the council table this item until certain key questions can be resolved. Here are our points. As of now, Parcel 1C, also known as the South Lawn, is alienated under the 2013 alienation on this project. While we have our serious reservations about the validity of that earlier alienation, for the purposes of this discussion, we will accept the premise that Parcel 1C is no longer public parkland, but is ordinary municipal property. We recognize that a roadway and a driveway are
Excuse me, I'm sorry. My microphone was off. I'm reading from. I wanted to read from the Yonkers Times. This is an article in regards to the JFK Marina and Parkland alienation. And I didn't say that, so I want you to understand what Parkland alienation is. So I'll put that back up. This is very important because what the woman there was talking about was the fact that the city did not have a right to take that land. This is the last public access to that the city has, right, folks? So again, like I was saying before my mic was muted, the last public access that the city of Yonkers has to the Hudson River. That's along the river. And I know a lot of people like to go there to do barbecues. You know, it's going to be summertime now. The weather is getting warm and people are going to want to go out there, but it soon may become private and you won't be able to go out there to do your barbecues, to do your events, family parties, children's parties, get-togethers. People go fishing, right? People launch their jet skis off there and boats. And now you may either be restricted from going to that area or you're going to have to pay. And some developer who bought it and privatized this land that was supposed to remain public is now reaping the profits off it, right? Or they might not even let you eventually one day down the road even access it unless you buy one of the townhomes that, you know, some believe may be put on there, right? So it's important, again, and it may be kind of boring stuff, but this is what Basement Politics does. I want to inform people on this. It's as important because it's the last public space along the Hudson River, and they're looking to move forward with development. right? So again, parkland alienation, I just want to tell you what that means, is the alienation is the taking of parkland for non-park use. Before alienation can legally proceed in New York State, these steps generally apply. A municipality typically prepares the first draft of a proposal New York State legislative bill that requests permission to alienate the parkland, which the city of Yonkers did. Right? They did that. They got the approval from New York State. Now they're looking to move ahead with the development. But this coalition of community organization is looking to stop them and is questioning the legality of it, right? Because there is a thing called letters patent that was, which, it deeds this piece of land to the city public, for the public, basically. And so they have to get permission. This is a park, and they want to do a non-park use. So I want to read an article from the Yonkers Times. City considers seating JFK Marina. And again, this is important because it's the last public space along the Hudson River for us. Parkland to private control. Is that legal? The Yonkers on Hudson Coalition, Yonkers on Hudson Alliance, a coalition of community groups, is questioning the legality of an action by the city of Yonkers that authorizes the developer of the Glenwood Power Plant to control and reap profits from land in JFK Marina, the last public park in Yonkers that affords public access to green space on the Hudson River shoreline. The city's action would privatize the south lawn or parcel 1C of the marina, an open area cherished by park visitors who come for recreation and respite along the riverbank, where they can enjoy sweeping views of the Palisades. As its February 15, 2022 meeting, the Yonkers Planning Board gave the green light to the Gorin Group to advance the next stage, granting the developer a ground lease to build on and earn profit from private events held on the highly valued south lawn of the JFK Marina, referred to in official documents as Parcel 1C. By ceding this essential public space to private control, the city has overstepped its authority, claims the organization and coalition, as outlined in a letter from the Pace Environmental Litigation. I don't want to read that. I want to go down here to letters patent. To date, the city and the developers have relied upon a process known as parkland alienation as its route to hand over control of public land to the Gorin Group. Again, parkland alienation is when the municipality prepares a legislative bill. They're requesting permission from New York State to, turn that non-park or that park to developers for non-park use, right? And they were able to do that recently, and that's how municipalities get around this letters patent thing that is meant to protect our parks. It's kind of like term limits and all that stuff. They're there to protect the people, basically, and we allow these things to be changed through all types of legislation. Basically, just change the law, and that seems to be now a common thing here in America. But the Yonkers on Hudson Alliance argues that the letters patent, a land deed issued by New York State in 1964, dedicated the terms under which Yonkers was permitted to create and operate the marina. The document stipulates that no one may ever be allowed to make a profit on marina parkland. The city, therefore, lacks authority to allow marina land to be used for profit as the Gorin Group intends. So, however, in the recent city council meeting yesterday, they all want to move forward with it. And I want to play some of that really quick just to show you, what the city council people feel about it. But really quick, I do want to play this.
The plant, as you may know, is going to be the center for climate change, where climate activists and solutionists will come together and work together to solve the biggest challenges of our time, which is climate change. As a development company, we are focused on the adaptive reuse of existing buildings because the greenest buildings are the ones that are already built.
Listen to this.
60-something% of global greenhouse emissions come from new construction. We are not a new construction company. We do not want to build anything new because it completely goes against what we're doing, which is adaptively reusing the power plant.
So they want to do, they're all about climate, and change and protecting the environment and stuff like that. And he says over 67% of greenhouse emissions come from new developments, not restoring places like he's trying to do with the power plant. So all those new developments were bad for the environment. Is that what he's saying? Basically, that's just what I got from it. But anyway, I want to play Shanae Williams. She's speaking here in the city council regarding the proposal for the power plant development at the JFK Marina. Help me out here, folks. She kind of talked in a bunch of circles and said a lot of things, but I didn't get much out of it. But maybe you can.
You know, there's been a lot of discussion on this. We had a couple of community members in the committee of the whole that came and spoke eloquently and truthfully about the whole process and what they're looking for. We have been working on this project with the plant for years now, and I've had many conversations with representatives from the plant. And I want to say that, you know, I'm happy that we're at this point where we're actually going to take a step forward. And it starts by first, you know, reinstating Parkland, and then also, you know, alienating some specific parcels within JFK Marina and the surrounding areas so that this project can actually work if, you know, down the road.
What are they doing on their cell phones?
All of the residents that have been paying attention and listening to understand that the city has no interest in handing out free parkland to anyone, not any developer. As someone who loves nature, love the outdoors, and respect you know, green spaces, I don't think it would be appropriate for me to go against my nature and vote in support of just giving away parkland to anyone. But I do think that it's important that we take that plant and that power plant and make something beautiful of it that the community can use and benefit from, and that is what's being proposed. But more importantly, I think that it would be good for our community as a whole to see something happen down there. It's been an eyesore for entirely too long. I'll speed it up. I know the council president has to go and time is of the essence for her. So I want to say that I hope that my colleagues will support me in supporting this. But before we do, after everyone has made their comments, I will like to come back and make a motion. I don't want to do it right now, but I want everyone to get their comments in first. But just to think about it as you decide, I will like to make a motion to make a friendly amendment in this resolution that we're going to send to the state, which basically will say that we will in fact take parcel 1C and revert it back to Parkland after the completion of the plant project, so that everyone is happy, the community understands that we are not in the business of just giving away green spaces, and so that the project.
So she says there, first of all, she said that she's a big, you know, supporter of the you know, nature, and she loves nature and stuff. And yeah, that's right. You know, that's why she helped fund her boyfriend's kayaking and nature hiking with friends program and stuff like that. So I get that, right? But I don't understand. She wanted to make a motion for a friendly amendment stating that once it was developed, that the Parkland or the parcel 1C, the South Lawn, and help me understand it, the coalition. And I would love to have you folks on the show to talk more about it. You can email me at politicwithfred@gmail.com. Please, I would love to talk to you about this. But she says that she wants to make a friendly amendment so that when they do the development and they're finished, they can revert the Parkland back to or revert the space back to Parkland. But I don't understand why take it and then revert it back, and why not just leave it? So I'm a bit confused about that, you know. You know, and then when she you know, talks about the amendments that she's making or she decided to make, it's like giving a little bit more of the land back. It was like 0.04 per, you know, acres of it back. So it wasn't much that was being given back. So, you know, but why not just do something for the community with that entire space? Right? Why not make that some kind of community center, rec hall, and not privatize it, but keep it public, right? And then you can generate some profit to city by, you know, for the community by renting out halls and stuff like that. And then have the community, you know, in the city, you know, kind of make that profit in order to maintain it and have other things there. Maybe have like a little sprinkler system thing for kids, a little water thing there, you know, where parents could pay a couple bucks. I'm talking about like $3 just for the maintenance of it. And the kids could go there in the summertime and get wet. They have like little park slides and all that. Then you have the boat ramp and stuff like that where people can, you know, put their jet skis in boats and they can pay for that. And, you know, on a daily thing. And the city can work to generate money by creating something for the public and all of the residents to come down there rather than making any part of that private. I don't understand it. Again, you know, I don't have all the details. I don't know everything, but I would love for people to, you know, come on and speak to me about it and clear things up. You know, if they're not scared to speak to Freddie Vasquez, because I know that don't touch that guy. Don't touch that guy. You know, hey, I just want to show you a picture of the, that's the power plant there. right? And it's been sitting there for so long like that. I mean, I remember when I was in junior high, when I went to museum school, it's Riverside High School, Riverside Middle School, whatever. Now, I went through there and walked there and went inside and stuff, and it's a bit spooky and stuff, but it's been there for that long. And that'll be, really honestly, they should just demolish that thing and just build something there. And I think that's what they're going to do anyway. I don't see why even try to renovate it, because rehabbing it is probably more costly than just knocking that thing down, getting it out of there, and just building something more, eco-friendly, more efficient and stuff like that, and making it for the public. I don't understand why they, are privatizing any of it. I do want to play also the majority leader. She took over the meeting after the city council president had to leave. She had to, couldn't be there for the entire meeting. But it's funny because she kind of jumped a little bit ahead of the script here. And I want to play that.
Last week at our committee meeting, we're looking back at this down there now, has since been investigated, but
Directly in my district. Yes, I just wanted to.
park in this land.
Hold on, I'm sorry.
Majority Leader Diaz.
Yes, I just wanted to second Councilwoman Williams' amendment for the Parkland, because it does not sit directly in my district.
Sorry.
She hasn't made the.
She said after the comments, she was going to make for the amendment.
Okay, so you're just speaking about that you're gonna second. Okay.
Yeah, she went ahead. She went ahead of the
I'm in
script.
support of this. This is not directly in my district, but my constituents, as you can see, are here in the gallery, and they did speak on it. And as the majority whip did say, we do want our community voices to be heard. And they came out, they spoke on this, and their voices have been heard. We've done what they've asked, and just that one little friendly amendment will put the cherry on the top of the cake. Thank you.
Thank you. I will say that I am completely dedicated to this park remaining a parkland, especially the area that is a part of 1C. And I understand the concerns with leaving that space not protected and being able to later develop it. As long as I'm on the council, God willing, that's at least until December 31st, 2025. And we hope that the project will be completed by that time. I stand firmly that that land is going to be parkland. We did summer youth there and free lunches, and that is a space that is near and dear to me. So I support going forward with this. I see.
I would love to speak to the city council president. We've talked about, meeting and talking, but I'm toxic. These guys don't want to touch me because they'll get in trouble by the, masters, the controller, Zahi Jarrett. I'm a no-go, no-fly zone with Freddie Vasquez, basement politics, because I bring out the information, the truth. But city council president, I've spoken with her many times. I do like her a lot, Madame President. I have a lot of respect for her. She's new to it, so my beef is not always necessary with her because I don't, she's new. I got to give an opportunity. I like what she said there about, as long as she's there, she wants to make sure that it will return to Parkland. But my question is, Madame President, why is it going and then being reverted? I just clarity on that. And maybe you'll defy them and say, I'm Madame President. And if I want to get on basement politics, I'm going to come on basement politics because I run me. Nobody runs me. Ain't that right, Madame President? Nobody runs you. So please, I would love to actually make that happen. I know we've been, but I know word gets to me. People still talk to me. They just on the low. It's all good. I get it. I don't want nobody to mess up whatever they got going, you know what I mean? Talking to me, no way. But I do want to bring the information. That's what basement politics is all about. And I want to bring clarity. So why is it going to go and then be reverted back to Parkland? Why is it being, alienated to begin with, right? So I don't understand that. So I would love for you to, be able to talk to me about that. Let's make it happen. Come on, let's do it. You run you. You are the Madame President. Do it. You make it happen. Right, you make it happen. But when she's talking about the free lunches, I remember that. They used to do a lot of that in the Yonkers parks. They used to get free lunches. I used to love that. They used to come in this green little styrofoam plate with this saran wrap wrapped around it. Sometimes we get a banana and a bologna sandwich, or an apple and a bologna sandwich with milk. And on the good days, we get a chocolate milk. Oh, I used to love the chocolate milk. I hated the regular milk. I hated it. But I did like the fruits, and never liked bologna sandwiches. And I don't understand why it was always mustard. Why no mayo? So I was not a big fan of the sandwich. I would just eat the fruit, but it was dope. And sometimes you get a snack. They bring board games to the park, and they'd be, adults there, in the whatever part of the the city. They had their shirts on, and they do different things with them. And there was some of the guys from the neighborhood that we knew. It was a little bit different, the older guys, right? And then they bring the pool. Anybody remember the pool, the trailer that they bring to the different places in Yonkers? I remember it was Sunset or Old Royal Park, and they fill it up with the fire hydrant water. So she's talking about that. I remember that too. So we can't take that away from the kids. I mean, it's little by little, everything is being privatized, and that's all across the country, folks. Trust me, I see it. I kind of pay attention to that stuff for other businesses that I do. So it's all across the country. Privatization is happening. And look at our city here. It's slowly becoming a city owned and built by developers for people that are not necessarily Yonkers-ites. I mean, they're not. They're going to privatize that. I believe they will build townhomes, and it'll be all the people that come to work for Lionsgate. Folks, remember Freddie Vasquez said that, just like I posted that warning about a potential attack in New York City. My sources are real. You can make your jokes. But I didn't just grow up and stay in Yonkers. I've been around. I know a lot of people, various group of individuals, and they work in a lot of different places. Believe it or not. That's up to you. I'm Freddie Vasquez. I'm out of here because I'm going to go get some dinner with my family. You know what I mean? Shout out to Pizza Beat. I love that place on Central Avenue. If you haven't gone there, check it out. It's a great family place. If you're looking for someone with a family, good atmosphere, not too loud, real quiet, chill, good food. I like Pizza Beat. The family and I go there a lot. And they didn't pay me to say this. I'm saying this from, my kindness in my heart, because I want, good businesses to, to last. And they're a good business. The food is good. So if you're looking for a place to go out to eat and you're tired of the same old, check out Pizza Beat, Italian restaurant on Central Avenue. It's good food, great atmosphere, and tell them Freddie Vasquez sent you. You may see me there with the family. Hope to see you there. Enjoy, folks. Have a good night. And Yonkers on the Hudson Alliance, I'd love to speak to you. Please contact me, politicwithfred@gmail.com. And Madame President, can you and I have a word or two? I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics. Thank you for joining me. I got to get out of here before my wife gets mad at me.
Freddie wins.
No, I'm going to lose tonight. There's no winning against the wife. Trust me on that, folks. Thank you for joining me. I am Freddie Vasquez. That was Basement Politics Unfiltered. I appreciate you folks as always. Shout out to all the new viewers. Shout out to those that give me compliments, because those may try to ridicule me on the Yonkers Tribune. And I even appreciate the fact that I'm talking about, negative or positive. You're talking about me, right? So I must be doing something, right? But those that shout me out and say, Freddie, keep doing your thing, I appreciate you. And to the person that yelled out my name earlier today, shout, what's up, guy? I don't know who you are. But anyway, hello to you. I'm Freddie Vasquez, Basic Politics. Thank you for joining me. I will be on again tomorrow. I didn't go nowhere. I was not kidnapped. I just get information and I act on it. And you should too. Peace out.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez. You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
Thank you for watching Basement Politics with my husband, Freddie Vasquez.
Freddie wins. Fatality. Over.
No!